Our next guest, Zaiesha Joseph, knows all about this. Zaiesha Joseph is a St. Kitts and Nevis national who is currently attending the New York Film Academy, and is pursuing a degree in fine arts. She is well known in the capacity of an actress. Zaiesha also holds other roles of camera, such as executive producer, assistant director, and screenwriter. Today, we are pleased to have her on Good Morning SKN to share more about her creative pursuit. Good morning, Zaiesha, and welcome to Good Morning SKN.
Having me.
Hi, it's such an honor to talk about you. So as I was listening to all of the fine things about you, I imagine that you must have some interesting stories to share. Executive producer, behind the scenes.
Yes.
So you know what we go through that our viewers don't know that we go through.
Exactly. It's not easy. It's not as easy as it looks. You have to go through so much for film production to get something done, to get the final product for the audience enjoyment is not easy at all.
Yeah, but we'll dial things back a little bit and focus on your acting.
Okay.
So when did you identify your passion for acting?
I think I identified my passion a very long time ago, perhaps maybe in primary school. And as I always tell people that I used to, go in front of a school assembly and perform monologues. I used to write my own monologues. I entered a few pageants, maybe about 5 pageants. And for the talent segment, I did a dramatic presentation. And it's something that I've always loved. And I used to watch television on the DVD player because, I grew up poor, so I didn't have cable. So I would watch DVDs and I would always imagine myself on the television screen. So for as long as I can remember, as early as I can remember, I've always had a passion for acting.
Well, that's incredible.
Thank you.
I like the comment about growing up poor, not having cable, but having a DVD player. I don't think you were that poor.
Well, we used to go and buy DVDs from the guy who used to sell DVDs in town. So
I got you.
Watch the same DVD over and over, So.
Zaiesha, can you recall your first role acting?
My first acting role? I think it's hard. I think my first acting role would be perhaps a monologue that I performed in school, because when I was in school, I didn't have plays and all those things that I could be a part of. So I would say it would be a monologue that I performed in school for a pageant or something like that. But it's funny, I never thought of that.
Well, I'm glad that we're making you think. All right, so apparently we were having this discussion that we're told that generally when there's an actor, they generally identify one character, I think, that they think best represents their personality. Is that the case for you? And if so, who is that actor that you think embodies Zaiesha?
Oh, you mean like a role model or something?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, definitely Viola Davis. She's my role model. I've always looked up to her. But at the end of the day, I wanted to be like her. But I'm learning more that I don't want to be like her. She's a great actress. She's phenomenal. But at the end of the day, there can only be one Viola Davis and there can only be one Zaiesha Joseph. So while I look up to her, I also want to bring my own uniqueness to the table.
Okay. Tell us what about the film industry that appeals to you the most? To you the most.
Well, I think the whole idea of being behind the scenes and the nitty-gritties and the things that you have to go through to make a final product. Sometimes it takes like 2 hours to film one scene, but you're only seeing 10 seconds of that scene that took 2 hours to film on the television screen. And I think that is so interesting that I think people should want to learn more about, because while you sit behind your screen and you're seeing this, this spectacle, it actually took like 3 hours for this 10-second thing to film. And I think that is what appeals to me most. And that is why I'm not just acting, I'm also, working behind the scenes as well.
So did it change the way that you look at movies? I imagine that it does. Because if you have that behind the scenes knowledge, you're not just looking at, oh, well, the actors are good, everything is colorful. You're looking at, well, what goes into that scene? Am I right?
Yeah, of course, of course. And it makes me more critical when I'm watching films too. Like I'm always looking for some kind of mistake or some kind of continuity error, you know, like I have this fine eye, like I'm looking at every single detail, you know? So I'm not just looking at the acting, I'm looking at, because sometimes you have a film where maybe the acting is not good, but the cinematography is good. And it's not that the actors weren't good, it's just that the editor chose the scene that he think was best, perhaps for the best cinematography, the best picture. Maybe the actors were in focus there, but the scene where the actors were out of focus, that's when they delivered their best performance. So it's just so much that goes into it, you know?
Broken Priority is another one of your popular films. Give us some insight on the concept of that film.
Broken Priority?
Yes, ma'am.
So Broken Priority is one of the short films that I wrote. I was also the assistant director, and I also acted in it. I didn't have like a major role in it because even though I wrote it and I was the executive producer, I think sometimes it's important to step back and, as I said, work behind the scenes. So as an actor, I had like a minor role in it, but this film showed in AMC Theater in Atlanta for a film festival. I traveled to Atlanta to see it there. And it also won other awards, I think, in Sweden. I think it won Best Short Film for a film festival in London, I think. Well, definitely did. Just to remember the name of the film festival. But it's a short film about a son who wants to be a rapper. But his parents are old-fashioned and they don't want him to be a rapper. They want him to study engineering. They want him to study to be a doctor, and he wants to be a rapper and play basketball. And it ensues from there, and it's a whole lot of dramatic stuff that happened. And it's actually on YouTube, that you could view it on YouTube and see pictures. Yeah.
I'm a little curious because the fact that you're speaking to Broken Priority, I'm wondering if it mirrors your life just a little bit, because the career path that you've chosen is a little non-traditional, is it not?
It perhaps maybe a little bit in terms of how society viewed my decision to become an actress. Whenever I told people I want to become an actress, they would say, "Oh, why don't you go and study to be a lawyer or to be an accountant?" And mind you, there's nothing wrong with being a lawyer and an accountant because we need lawyers and we need accountants in our society. But some people want to study art. The art is a beautiful thing, and so many young people are afraid to step out of that comfort zone, of that security of having a 9-to-5 job and doing something else. You know, it's almost threatening because whenever you talk about it, people tend to shut you down, you know. And I just hope that more young people would be courageous and step out and do that. So in that aspect, it does mirror my life a little bit. But in terms of family and stuff like that, I think my mother was always supportive. Whatever I wanted, she said, "Oh, no problem, go ahead, do your thing. My daughter, I'm so proud of you," you know, like she wasn't that kind of parent that would say, "No, no." So in that aspect, definitely.
All right, let's talk about Deceit very quickly, because in addition to Broken Priority, we had Deceit as one of your very short films. What can you tell us about it?
Yes, I think Deceit did like the best because I think Deceit won 3 awards. It won the Critics' Choice Award in Singapore World Film Carnival. It won Best Short Film for Film Festival in Virginia. I also won Best Actress.
Wow! Congratulations.
Best Directing. Yes. So that film won the most awards. I think we won about 10 or 12 awards, as well as official selections. Deceit again is also on YouTube. It's about a pastor whose wife, they're married, they have 2 kids, and his wife, the kids don't belong to him. It's like a kind of typical story, you know, we've been hearing about that. But I thought it was important for the world to see stuff like that, to know that things like that are happening, you know. So the children don't belong to him. He has a child. The children belong to another church member. And he finds out, and then, you know, I can't tell you the end of the story. I want you to watch it. It's on YouTube. So
I see you're learning a lot from that school of yours.
Yes, definitely.
Your first full-length feature film, One Cent, Can Change, is coming soon.
Yes.
Without revealing too much, share with us a brief synopsis of it.
So One Sun Can't Change. Wow. Okay. One Sun Can't Change. It includes the African American, and Caribbean and cultures. And it's basically putting all of those together and saying that at the end of the day, we are all the same people, we're all Black people. And it's about a son whose mother wanted to find a wife. My mother is African American. I'm from the Caribbean. It's so much, like, I don't want to give you too much because it's not out yet. So I don't want to reveal
exactly
what the story is about. I'm waiting for you to see it for yourself because it has so many plot twists. It goes up, it goes down, it has an arc. It's like, it's going to keep you on the edge of your seat. And I want you to see it without me telling you what it is, so.
Okay.
But
so
it's a feature film that I also wrote.
Okay. So in closing, Zaiesha, though the film hasn't been released yet, it is a finalist in the International Screenwriting Competition in New York.
Yes.
How did you react when you found out it was nominated for this award?
Well, of course, I was very happy. I was proud of myself because it just means that there are people outside of the Caribbean, people specifically in America, who are interested in learning about the African American and the Caribbean experience. I was quite proud, and especially because it's my first full length feature film that I wrote. I was like, wow, I did well, and I was proud of myself. I gave myself a tap on the back, So.
Well, Zaiesha, yes. We're both eager to talk to you. I guess
no problem.
I'm sure you have. Well, what? Tell us about that for a second. Have you had fans walk up to you and ask you, do they recognize you? Those sorts of things. Do you have those, like, celebrity crush moments?
No, I don't think I'm that famous yet.
Yeah, almost there.
I mean, at least not yet. I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen when I come to St. Kitts, but it's never happened to me, and I mean, for me, it's not a big deal. I feel like we're all the same, regardless of what you may accomplish,
I love that.
But I would respect and appreciate that. But at the end of the day, we're all the same people,
Well, you know what? If I see you walking on the streets of St. Kitts, you can expect that moment, okay? So just know that.
Thank you.